Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Sunday, August 21st of the year 2022, and this is going to be FlossTube number 86. So as always, I want to welcome you all. Welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you as always for your continuing support. I know it's been a hot second since my last video, so I appreciate you coming back. And if this is the first time visiting, then welcome. I do hope that you like what you see today and you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. I hope that everybody's doing well. I hope that everybody's staying safe and sound. Everything's good here. Kind of gearing for going back to school tomorrow. It's just a little hard to believe, but I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready. It was a good break, but I definitely got antsy. Like, even my boyfriend was laughing at me because I started like looking up. One of my professors has a website where he put up like old lecture videos, so I started looking at those. So he's like, are you done with your vacation? Like, yeah. So I was getting restless. I think I'm ready. We visited the school the other day, just a little bit. I guess we're just gonna do a little bit of life stuff. We visited the school for the first time on Friday, I think it was. They had a 2-day event, Thursday and Friday, so it was supposed to be like a welcome back type of thing before school actually began. So, you know, you could buy your books at the bookstore, you could get your ID, you could they also had just like random tents from various sponsors there. So they had prizes and things like that. So we were only there for a little bit. We weren't there for too long. I think we might have spent like an hour there tops. But it was nice, and it definitely got me ready. The school is really pretty. Even my boyfriend was like, this is nice. So yeah, so that definitely did the trick and got me all excited for tomorrow. I won't be, I'm not gonna enjoy being like super busy. I made up my schedule, including like work hours, because I was able to get my schedule from my boss, my supervisor. Oh my gosh, almost gonna be a very busy bee. Just literally just like run from school to work, and then other days I have to run from work to school. Like, it's gonna be interesting for sure. But yeah, again, I'm ready. And so I do have quite a bit to show you. That aside, oh, I also got a haircut. Obviously, you all can see I got a haircut. Last time I got a haircut was pre-pandemic, so it was absolutely long overdue. She went a little crazy on the layers a little bit. Like, some of the layers are way too short, but at the same time, I also told her, I was like, I haven't cut my hair in literally years, so there's probably a lot of damage there. And I just told her, I was like, try to get rid of it as much as you can. So yeah, so that probably also explains the short layers. I got a little bit of a Eddie Munson feel when I first got it short. Even my boyfriend was like, not gonna, because now it looks fine, right? It's fine. But even my boyfriend was like, I got worried for a second there when you came up. It wasn't looking too good. And I was like, yeah, I know, but haircuts need a few days to kind of settle in. So even I told myself, like, okay, it's gonna look weird now, but don't panic unless it still looks weird, like 2 or 3 days later. So yeah, so fresh haircut, start of a new school year, the works. Anyway, okay, now I'm ready. Because I did work on quite a bit of stuff the last 3 weeks. I didn't necessarily mean for it to be 3 weeks between videos. It just happened that way. I had some plans for the weekends, and then others, I was like, okay, I'll film next weekend. But then we had like last minute plans, so it just happened that way. So yeah, so it's gonna be quite a bit of a long video. So settle in, grab your cup of tea, cup of coffee, and yeah, let's talk about stitching. And in no particular order, I just filmed my video in Spanish, so it's a bit of a hot mess, but we'll just roll with it. The first whip that I have ready to show you is my focus piece, one of my focus pieces for Daily 30. This is my Heaven Earth Designs chart called The Eternal Promise. Artwork is by Matt Stewart. I started this on my birthday 2 years ago. Yeah, 2020. And I've been working on this quite a bit. I got 4,500 stitches done this month, which is on par for the plan. The plan to finish in 7.5 years. R.A.P. Alma. Yeah. So this is what I have. This is what I have. So you know me, I'm like Mercury. I change plans every other day. I decided that for this specific whip, I originally said, oh, I'm just gonna go down the chart and just finish what I've already done here. I kind of said, well, I have the time, I have the opportunity, let me work on all the confetti. So I decided to finish the current page that I was on here, partial page, because most of this was done already, but then I'm almost done now with another page. So I just did all the confetti of all those, leaves and forest and what have you. So this was only partially done the last time I showed it to you. And yeah, everything else, like all of this section right here, is brand new. Again, 4,500 stitches. I need to go and buy a color because the color that I had, it's specifically 647. The color that I had was looking way too green. It was like this blue-green type of shade, and I said, this doesn't look right, because I added maybe like 10 or 15 stitches somewhere in there of that color, and it looked off. So I asked a few friends of mine. We have a group chat, so I just said, hey, this is what I have for my 647, but it looks weird. And one of my friends said it's supposed to be gray. So it was too old. And it really is too old, because I had that specific skein since I started stitching, basically. Not really started stitching, but since I started getting my own projects. So maybe 10 years ago, I don't know, it's been a bit. And dyes change a lot, colors change. Not a lot, but the hues change slightly. So anyway, long story short, I'm gonna have to get that color again so I can add it, because that's the only color I have left on that page. You can kind of see where it's supposed to go. And I think how I'm gonna work this is do it, work on pages like on the diagonal, I think is what they call it. So I think I have to finish 1 or 2 more pages up here, and then I can go down to the next row and work it that way. Because I'm basing it off of the fact that I already have this much done. So I'm considering this like okay, page like row number 1. So yeah, I considered, once I hit that 4,500 stitch mark, I considered working on it for like a hot second, but I was burnt out on it. I was working on this pretty much every single day during the weekdays, and then leaving the weekends for something else, because at that point I'm like, okay, I'm done with this piece. I want to work on something different. So yeah, now that I'm back to school, I think it's gonna flip. I think this is going to be my weekend piece, since I'm gonna have more time on the weekends, in theory. I wish. I'm an engineering student, come on, Alma. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna have more time on the weekends than I would on the weekdays. even if that's not by much. Anyway, so that's that. That's one piece. Again, in no particular order. I'm just doing it off of what I have here. Another piece that I worked on, or started to work on this last couple of few weeks, is another one of my Heaven and Designs charts. This is Mini 1 by Zindi Nielsen. I started this at the end of August of 2018, August 30th. So birthday's coming up soon. I noticed, and it's mostly because of the theme, I guess. I don't know. I have to be like in a very specific mood to stitch on this. Both, you know, willing to work on just the monochromatic theme, but also just in general. This piece seems very melancholic to me. So if I'm feeling a certain type of way, then I'll go ahead and work on her. Having said that, monochromatic was one of the categories that was picked for August, so I worked on it a little bit. I've added 300 stitches, which pretty much filled in the horizon right here. This is the start of her hair right here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna work maybe 3 more rows, or yeah, squares. I'll do the equivalent, so however many I did on this side, I'll do on this side, and then I'll go ahead and work on her hair and finish the entire section, so I can, you know, finally move the Q-snap lower. So yeah, I'll try to work on her more, because, you know, her birthday's coming up soon. The longest I've worked on a piece is, I think 7 years. Peter Pan took 7 years, and that was because I stopped working on it for like 3 or 4 years. So the fact that this has already taken 4 years to finish for me is a bit much, especially because it's a mini size. So I don't think it should have taken too long. So I'll definitely try to work on her more regularly, and then definitely make her the focus for next year, so that hopefully she doesn't make it to her 5th birthday. Another piece that I worked on fairly well, not as regularly as I wanted, but this is my Realist kit. This is Lilac Evening. I'm using this for my daily 30 piece. I fell off the wagon on this one. I used to just work on her, you know, in the mornings when I'm like drinking my cup of coffee in the mornings, and, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll get my daily 30 out of the way. But then the Eternal Promise took over, and I just never found another rhythm with this one. So I definitely did not work on her as much as I wanted to. This is all she's gotten so far. So since the last time I showed her to you, I think I did like this texture thing that's on her dress or blouse, whatever it is that she's wearing. So yeah, so for this section to be like 3 weeks worth, that's not nearly enough. So what I think I'll do is, if I definitely can't get into like working on her in the evenings or something for 30 minutes a day, I may just work on her for like 2 hours over the weekend or something like that, because she gets, you know, the process works like super fast, and that's like, oh my gosh, that's gonna go off every 9 minutes. Okay, speeding things along. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, God. Okay, you can see progress fairly easily on this one. Like 100 stitches does a lot. It goes a long way with this one. So there's no excuse for this one to take, you know, to take too long. And I do want to see her finished, because this is one of the first like fancy ladies that I got. This is certainly the first piece that has beading And you know, she does have the ribbon flowers on her hair that I want to see done. So I definitely want to make sure that this gets more love than it's getting right now. But we'll have to see, because again, school just anyway. Next up is another one of the pieces that I worked on for the categories. We had to pick, I think it was just Stitcher's Choice or Newest Start. So I picked the illustrated manuscript by Barbara Ann Richter. I started this along with Laurel from, I think her channel name is Laurel Ann here on FlossTube. This is from the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine issue of September-October 1991. So, older than me. Not by much, but older than me. So I kept working on this. I kind of lost track of how many stitches I have. Specifically, I have like a general idea of how many stitches I have on this, but here we go. From the last time I showed this to you, I added the trees. So these are all supposed to be the trees. The shading is a little weird on this one. I feel like that dark green is too dark, but oh well. That's just how the design is. And this is like the foresty area just below the castle. So the castle's gonna be right up here. Part of me does want to work on the castle, but I also, I don't know, I might just start on the blues so that I can do the river that's here and her dress as well. And that'll also give me a more concrete idea of how many stitches I have done, because at that point I can kind of calculate it based off of the grid lines for the pattern. But yeah, now that I found my groove with this one, I'm definitely enjoying it. If you watched my video, I think it was mid-July that I started this, because I started for my birthday. I started a couple of days after my birthday. Oh my god, it was a struggle. I had to frog like 3 different times altogether. So now that I'm doing better on it, whoops, I'm not gonna flash the pattern. It's definitely a lot better. It's definitely a lot better and quicker. So that's that pattern. Let's see, what else do I have here? The other one of my other focus pieces for Daily 30 is my Moon Charmer piece, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Artist is by Amy Stewart. This one got 3,000 stitches this month. I say this month like the month is already over. In my mind, it practically is. All things considered. But yeah, this is another one of my Daily 30 focus pieces. Between Eternal Promise, Sea Glass, and this one. I ended up, so just, you know, so you're not looking for it, I ended up not picking up Sea Glass again. I finished 1 month and I just made the executive decision that I'd rather focus on Eternal Promise more. Because again, going back to, I have the opportunity to work on the confetti. I had the time to just, you know, do 2 stitches of one color, switch colors, and do 3 stitches of another. So I was like, okay, I'll just, now that I have the opportunity to do that, I'll just take it and work. I'll catch up on the 12-month pattern this coming month in September. Anyway, this one got 3,000 stitches, and again, I took the advantage of having the time and the opportunity to do confetti stitches, and I just did the stars. So I worked on this entire top section. I think I even did some of this one too. So yeah, so all those tiny little stars, which, like, because of the negative space, that they still showed up even though I hadn't technically stitched them. But yeah, now they're 100% done, so this entire section is totally finished, including, you know, some of the stars down here as well. There's one over here, and there's like 3 over here. The shading is not helping, but now again, considering time constraints, I think what I'm gonna do is, at least for the month of September, I'll go back and focus on this section. Also because this has a lot of black in the bottom. I don't know if I've probably mentioned it before, but you know, when you get down here toward the grasses, that's all black and dark green, mostly black. So part of me says, okay, make sure that you just keep working on the black, you know, so that you're not left with 30,000 black stitches to do at the end of the day, because that is the bottom of the piece. So I'll probably just, now that I've worked on this section and added a lot of details to the sky, I may just go ahead and pick up this section again, because this also will need some filling in, because there's some confetti, there's some missing stitches here. So I'll probably just fill in. I'll look at the page breaks a little closer, but I'll probably fill in so that I finish this entire section and then keep going on the black. So hopefully I'll get at least another 3,000 stitches done on this one. I may work on it this week so I can keep doing a little bit more for the month of August. I've got, for the yearly daily 30 event, I still got 3,000 stitches to do if I wanted to complete it all, which would be 12,000 stitches. So that just goes to show, you know, how much I've done this month. The fact that I was able to pretty much finish the event. So yeah, so I may pick this up so that it gets a little bit more love, but we'll see. We'll see. I think I originally wanted to do 4,000 stitches a month for this one, so I'm not sure that's gonna happen, but I will be happy with whatever progress it gets. So that's this one. Next up is one that, where's my bag for that one? There we go. I had the project on one side and the cover picture in another. So another piece that I picked up the last couple of weeks is my Esmeralda piece. Again, I'm trying to do 1,000 stitches on each one of my whips. So I was inspired by something, I don't know. I just felt like picking this one up. So this is my Children Crafts chart. Artwork is by Galen Kornick. There goes the snooze. He's gonna snooze like 3 different times. I'm sorry in advance. This one was actually pretty quick. I just picked one color and went with it. This is what I have so far. So I think I have like 100 stitches left to do on this one to make it 1,000, but it's been pretty much this yellow. All this yellow was not there before. So I'll go ahead and finish up the last 100 stitches. So it's gonna be like this tiny little section right here. Just finish that up. And yeah, I'll go ahead and keep going. Sometimes I'll get inspired and I'll just be like, oh, I really wanna keep going on this and, you know, hit a certain milestone, either percentage wise or stitch count wise. But I've decided that I would rather make sure that I got all of the 1,000 stitches on everything first, and then I can go back and you know, revisit any whips that called out to me particularly. But this one definitely did, especially because I checked with my Spanish video. I've got 1,700 stitches left to do in that yellow, and like 99% of those are in that specific section. So I'm like, maybe that can be the cutoff for this year, is just do all of that color, or you know, at least that specific section, and then I can move on to something else. So just throwing ideas out there. Another piece that I worked on, which I mentioned in my last video, is my Chilton Crafts chart. Another of my Chilton Crafts chart. This is Till Death Do Us Part by Daniel Kordek. For this one, I think I had like maybe 100 or 200 stitches left to do, so I could hit the 1,000 stitch mark. And yeah, I pretty much just did whatever was left. So it may not look much different than what I showed it to you last, because this is what I have so far. So the stitches were done on this little corner right here. I think it really was just fill in this particular section and then start on this column. I probably could have finished that little column, but I just decided not to for whatever reason. I think I just wanted to get to the next one, which is Fractal Energy, which, yeah, coming up soon. So yeah, so this is another one where I want to make sure that I keep up on the black, so that I don't have 1,000,001 stitches to do in black at the end of the day. Because I'm coming up on the corner here, on the upper corner. So yeah. Love me some Daniel Kordek, all of the Daniel Kordek pieces. I ended up buying, Shelly had, I don't know if I mentioned this last video, but Shelly had a 50% off coupon. And so I took the opportunity to buy Kordek's Scarlet Witch. He came out with a Scarlet Witch design, and I adored that character. The film wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, but I like her, so I got the piece. Okay, almost done. I really just have this one last piece to show you, which is the Fractal Energy that I mentioned. So another one of my Chilton Crafts charts. This one is artwork by Nathan Smith. I mean, the progress isn't too exciting to show you on this one because I just did the black up here. I would work on this when my boyfriend would be playing video games, and I would be watching. He's playing through The Last of Us. We finished up Stray, a video game called Stray, which you play as a cat, and it was really cute. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a little twisted. You know, the idea sounds cutesy, but it's a little creepy. But we still enjoyed it. Anyway, now he's playing through Last of Us 2. That's creepy. So yeah, so 1,000 stitches done in black. Woohoo! So this, I feel like this is going to be, depending on how I do with my chopper piece, which is my travel piece, this might just become my, you know, watching TV piece, so that I can get all that black done. And then if and when I feel like doing something different, I can just keep going on these, on the blue, the sky, and just keep working on the actual design. Because this is gonna take a bit. Oh yeah, the blue's popping out really well with the lighting. It looks a lot darker. I think it's 820, so 820 tends to pop out very nicely with light. But anyway, clearly I'm trying to do as much as I can with the 1,000 stitches on every whip. I already know there's like a couple of them that I really don't want to stitch on, because I always just struggle with them. So I'm kind of holding off on those and doing the ones that I actually want to stitch on. and then eventually get around to those. But yeah, lots of stitching done this last few weeks. I kind of just wanted to make sure I got as much of it done as possible, because I knew that, you know, once the 22nd came around, it was gonna be game over. So yeah, not too much planned for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get at least one more whip done for the 1000 stitch thing. We'll first wrap up on Esmeralda, because Esmeralda still needs like 100, 200 more, so I'll probably get that done today. And then I do have one whip that I'm gonna work on this month. It is September, so I'll pull out my Katrina by Yanni Stitcher. Since, you know, Mexican Independence Day is in September, so this is what it looks like, in case you forgot, because I haven't worked on this in ages. This is what she looks like. I messed up big time working on her, and then I remember thinking, oh, it's okay, I'll like frog a little, stitch a little, frog a little, stitch a little, and then I ended up screwing up a few at the top too, so it's just like flips table. But I'll make an effort this time for sure. I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of trying to do all the white, I'll just like do it section by section. So I'll finish all of, you know, one section first and then keep moving my way up, as opposed to trying to finish one color at a time. So I'll you know, bring her out for September. Who knows, I may finish her in September. Maybe not. It's a lot of stitching. But I do want to finish her soon though, because it is another one of those designs that is simple. It should be fast stitching. But besides that, yeah, I'm not sure what's gonna get done, because yeah, like I mentioned, school just it's gonna take over. It's gonna take over fast. And it's only gonna get worse from here, really. Like, the classes are gonna get more difficult. It is the upper division classes, so yeah, balancing that between that and work. Luckily, I get to pick my hours for the most part for work. I do have two shifts that I have to go to in person Friday mornings, and then I have a hour and a half shift to go to Mondays and Wednesdays. But luckily for that, I mean, I can bring my homework if no one comes in for an appointment, so I can keep myself busy. I kind of did appreciate working from home during summer school, because I didn't have to go there and twiddle my thumbs. I could be home and work on stuff here. But they like having on in-person services more than they do online services. So when I told her I'm only available in person for these times, that's what she took. My boss didn't schedule me for any online services this semester. But that's fine, because the second part of my job I can do online. But yeah, in terms of going back to the cross stitching, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna get done between now and the next video. Definitely the three focus pieces. Hopefully I'll have more to show you on Lilac Evening as well. But yeah, besides that, we'll see what other pieces I can do 1000 stitches in. Right now I think I'm sitting at 23 pieces that I've gotten the 1000 stitches done, and I have 50 total whips right now. So yeah, I think I can do it between now and the end of the year, especially if I try to do it like over the weekend and stuff. But yeah, that's really all that I have to show you this time around. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to leave a comment below. I do look at them. Sometimes I'm terrible about responding, but I do look at them. So any love is appreciated. And yeah, I hope you guys have a productive week, relaxing weekend, and you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, ciao!